Good evening, everyone. It's Nancy Baker. As always, Thursday night means one thing. We have a young baller joining us tonight on our Thursday Night Live. It is Liv Dale, who's currently at Chelsea. We're going to wait for Liv to join and then I'll add her in. And then we can get the Thursday Night Live going. I hope everyone's had a lovely day. It's nearly Friday. That means it's nearly the weekend. I can only imagine everyone's looking forward to the weekend. Right, Liv's joined, so let's send a request. Liv, how is everyone doing? Hi from Finland. Hey, how are you? We're good. Yes, Liv.
Hello.
What's going on?
You alright?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good.
You had a good day?
Yeah, normal day.
No, normal day. You got in nice and quick. That is one thing we absolutely love on the Thursday Night Live.
Don't want to leave you waiting around.
See, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. The pressure gets to me when I have to wait, and I'm like, are they coming? Are they not? For everyone who doesn't know you, please can you give a little introduction of yourself?
So I'm Liv Dale and I'm currently playing for Chelsea under 18s and have been there for 6 years.
Amazing. 6 years at Chelsea. You're like a for lifer. You've
I
been
know.
there. So you've been there since under 12s then?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And
a long time.
Yeah, that's a long. It's nice though. It's good for like consistency and stuff like that. So for anyone who doesn't know, what position do you play and how would you describe yourself in 3 words as a player?
Currently injured.
Apart from that, when you are on the pitch.
So I'm playing centre-back position at the moment. I'd say I like to control the line. I'm quite a versatile player, but also like to go forward.
Nice, I like that. I always think as a defender, like, you have to be vocal. Are you vocal? You've just said you're vocal on the pitch, but are you as vocal off the pitch as you are on the pitch?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Love that. So. And where were you before you got into Chelsea? So when you was around 10, 11, where was you playing at the time?
So I started off at a grassroots club, just my local Claygate Royals. And then I went to AFC Wimbledon girls. But during like the trial season period bit, and then I got offered by Chelsea, so I sort of had to say goodbye to AFC Wimbledon.
Was Chelsea ever on the cards, or like when you was at AFC Wimbledon, was it like, I want to go to Chelsea, or I want to go to Arsenal, or I want to go here, there, anywhere? Like, was that ever on the cards, or did it come as a bit of a surprise?
So I wanted to go to a bigger club onwards from my local team, which is Claygate. But I was at the development centre once a week at Chelsea. Yeah. And there they had the scouts coming from the academy. So when I got invited to a trial from the foundation, so it was sort of, I've been offered AFC Wimbledon, but sort of want to take the bigger step if I get offered.
100%. When you found out that you had like the opportunity to go to Chelsea, what was running through your mind?
A lot. The season before, I'd even bought like the whole training kit to look like I was like part of the Chelsea academy already. Yeah. It was just a dream then. And
obviously a big thing that I know about you, obviously where me and you met was at a Chelsea women's game, which was like a couple of months ago. And then a few times after we've crossed over and it's like, Nancy, coming to the game, Liv, you at the game. So it's so good to see, like, as you are under 18s player and many of the other girls that are in your team, you actively go to the women's games as much as you can, don't you?
Yeah. Sometimes it clashes with games or stuff, but it's close to me. I think it's harder for some girls who live further away. Like Tiggy was saying last week, for her, it's a bit further away for her to get to them, but all of us want to get there.
100%. And what is it like being in that Chelsea setup and knowing how it's run and what's going on, and then transitioning to going and watching them on a game day? Like, how inspiring is that team for you?
A big part of it. I think obviously we train alongside them, or sometimes with them. So on Saturday we trained with part of the first team. Yeah. And seeing them go from the training pitch and then onto the game, it's like, oh, like really does like what they're doing and training. You really see the game.
Definitely. And are you one of the players when you're at the games? Obviously, you go there to enjoy yourself. You go there with your mates or your family or X, Y, Z. But when you're watching, do you just latch onto the game and follow certain players? And you're like, right, this is how I want to be. This is what I should be doing. This is how I should be doing it.
Yeah, especially like positional wise. Like I look at them and I'm like, right, like that's what they're doing in this scenario. Not always following the ball, like sometimes just following their movement.
What player do you or players do you look out for the most?
At Chelsea, Millie Bright.
Yeah, 100%.
Playing that big role. She's got, yeah, I love
Millie. And talking of Millie Bright, she was a top goal scorer in the tournament that's just gone. So she's a centre back. She's a top goal scorer for England in the tournament that just gone, and she's on par with a Ballon d'Or winner. So it's a great person to be looking up to if you want to be reaching them standards. Like she's setting good standards.
Doesn't get much better.
100%. Would you say as well, obviously, as you said before, you like to go up, you like to get involved. If there's like a corner or a set piece, are you like, yeah, I'm going up and I need to be a part of it? Or do you sit back and you're like, no, I'll be there just to...
Do you know what I do? I do like often go up in the corners. I haven't played though in 11 months.
So you've been out for 11 months? How hard is that for you, like, and your mentality, like not being able to step on the pitch and play?
Tough. I think this is definitely the biggest challenge I've had.
Yeah.
Being out for so long, but being in the environment now, getting back, like coming in the same time as the girls were training.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was sort of, I was in every day, but didn't really see the girls. So I wasn't still in the team environment. But now getting back training and being around them, like I can just see it's coming back.
Definitely.
Even non-contact training, it's just like so much better than constant gym work or constant rehab, just one-to-one stuff.
Yeah. How important is it that you have your teammates behind you and with you with your injury? Like how much of a role have they played?
A big role, obviously. Just even the conversation of how's it going, like what's like the latest, or like, oh my god, I saw like you did your first pitch session, or like started running.
Yeah,
like they're thinking about it as well, because none of them would like to be in that position.
No, 100%. But although injury isn't what you want as a footballer, there are positives to take from it, and it's the way that you flip an injury and take from it and what you get from it. So with you being out, you're obviously able to go and watch your team play. You're able to watch what they're doing, how they're doing it. And how has that been good for your development personally, to see how the team plays, where you slot in and what you need to be doing, because you've got that first person view when you're watching the games?
Yeah, definitely. You see the bigger picture from like being out and seeing the whole team performance, what's being spoken about on the bench, with the girls, like what we can change on the bench. And it's like getting back into, right, these are some new set pieces, get into my head, see what's working. Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself going into a coaching role when you're on the sidelines with your big jacket? Do you turn into a coach?
Do you know what? I'm sometimes kicking my foot on the bench, like, oh my god, I'm going for that tackle. Like you see myself like just kicking my foot, like getting involved on the bench.
So you're not even on the pitch, but you still feel like you're there, and you're like, I need to be involved.
Yeah, literally.
How helpful is it as well when you are watching the games, like having your coaches next to you and hearing what they say and what they want to see and what they think's going well? How does that also enable your learning as a player?
Yeah, we hear we give a plan in the changing room at the beginning of the game of how we want to play. Runs off the same basics of how we want to play, but then they sort of leave it down to the players to communicate at half time or in a break or whatever, and then they come in and we say what we think, and then they give us advice on what we think, and sort of comes together. Yeah.
Do you ever step in and go, all right, girls, I'm gonna take the halftime team talk, like listen up to me, this is what I gotta say?
I must say I do go onto the pitch at the beginning when they're doing like Chelsea, a little hands in.
Love that. And a lot of people are, so we got some questions in. A lot of people watching want to know, who is your team DJ?
Team DJ?
Yeah.
So we have a Spotify playlist.
Love that. Clever.
Everyone adds to it. So it's like a proper mix of what everyone wants. But a lot of it is like the same. But one of the girls in the team just opened a Spotify and we all add what we want to it and then whack it on the speaker.
Whose idea was it to open a Spotify? Because that is top tier thinking.
I think it was Amelie Dairy.
So, yeah. And everyone just adds to it. So it's literally on a match day, there's music for everyone, isn't there? Because they've all added to it.
If you want something on there, you whack it on there. Yeah.
So I'm going to say there's never any complaints in terms of music.
Well. There's sometimes next song.
What's one song in the changing room that gets the whole team going, that like really pumps up the team?
I wouldn't even say there's one song. I think everyone likes different music, but there's always one for someone that gets them going, like individually.
Yeah. We also had your big sister sent in a question, and she said, a nice question. She's bigged herself up a little bit, which I'm completely there for. So she's asked, apart from herself, who did you look up to growing up?
She knows it's herself. As in players?
Well, yeah, players or people who were like the people that you sort of grew up looking at thinking like, I like what they do, I want to follow in their footsteps, I want to do what they're doing.
Leah Williamson, I'd say.
Yeah.
She worked with my mum for a couple of like night shoots and stuff, and her like off pitch, like just the way she thinks and stuff, I feel like she's quite an intelligent player as well.
Yeah. What are your passions outside of football? So obviously you love football. I think everyone on this channel loves football, but when you have to step away from football, you have to take some time away from it, what's your first thing you're like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today, that's what I want to do?
I'm doing some coaching at the moment.
Love that.
Coaching with Fontana soccer. And I'm currently doing my level 1 and 2 badges.
Nice.
So I do a bit of coaching, but if not, like just in my spare time, probably shopping. I think we did that last week as well.
Yeah, just shopping and football. That's what everyone lives by.
Going out for food, shopping, seeing my mates.
All right. So it's a day off. You've done a hard day of shopping. You've got all your bits and bobs that you need. You're a happy shopper, but you're hungry. Where are you going for something to eat?
Probably Nando's.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. Everyone says it. What's your order?
Medium butterfly chicken.
Yeah.
Garlic bread.
Yeah.
Chips.
I had that last night.
There you go then.
I also had halloumi cheese, but I literally had that order last night.
Or sometimes the long stem broccoli.
Yeah. If you're feeling a little bit healthier.
Got to show the healthy side, yeah.
And people also want to know, when you were growing up, was it always football? Was that always your mentality, that I want to play football, I want to do this as a profession, like this is what I'm going to go into? Or was there anything else that was sort of like besides it, or sort of taken over from football? Or has it always been football?
It's always been football. My big sister did it, so I just, you copy your older sister, don't you? So I just and she carried on, so
let's talk about that. How old's your sister? Well, how much older is your sister? Is there a big gap?
2 years, so she's 19.
Oh wow. So did you lot grow up playing football together, like in the back garden or going over to the park?
Oh, she hates it. I used to play, like, I used to ask to come to her training. I used to do like the off-season bit with her training team. And once she actually played against Chelsea, she was playing county for Surrey, and they came and played against Chelsea. And I was begging to play up so I could get, and then Chelsea waxed me on for 15 minutes at the end against the 2 years above team, just so I could play against my sister.
That is class. What was it like playing against your sister? Was it, I'm an only child, so I wouldn't, like, if I was to go up with my sister, if I had one, I don't know if could you take it seriously? Was it difficult? Was it like, no, I need to come out on top and show that I'm younger, but I'm the one that's here, and I'm going for it? How did you even like step up to that?
There were some crunching tackles.
On your sister?
both ways, from me to her and her to me.
That is class.
Both ways, competitive.
That's good though, and I'm guessing, did you grow up and you have like little competitions with each other, let's say like in the back garden, or like who can do the most kick-ups, who can learn this trick first?
All the time in the garden. All the time.
Who would you say is the techier player, you or your sister?
You know what? She'd actually accept it now and say me.
Oh, so she'd accept it now. What position does she play?
The same, centre back.
Oh wow! So
yeah,
literally like toe to toe and everything that you do.
Yeah.
So would you say that you followed in her footsteps, being a centre back?
I think so, but she started off playing striker and then made her way back slowly.
Like back and back and back.
Back and back. It's probably showing in goal now. But yeah, I've always been at the back, whether it's on the full back or centre back.
Yeah. Are you both Chelsea supporters as well? No. Who do you support?
Liverpool.
And you're both Liverpool fans?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite player?
Probably Salah.
He's a very good player though, to be fair.
Can't really say you don't like him, can you?
Yeah, true. Do you have a favourite women's player? Not based off like position or someone who plays in your position. Was there anyone that, apart from, let's say, Millie, who you've obviously mentioned that you watch and you look at to see what she's doing, is there anyone else who you think, yeah, like I really like her? And obviously you mentioned Leah as well.
Leah and Lucy Bronze.
Two very good players.
Very top players. Lucy Bronze is unbelievable.
And are you the sort of player to put aside time to watch these top elite athletes and sort of take from what they're doing, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the game anyway, sometimes you just like get drawn to them anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you're trying to focus on the game or focus on them, either way, it ends up being them in a bit of attention.
I think it goes back to what you were saying as well. You know, when you said that sometimes you'll just watch a player, even if they haven't got the ball, you'll just watch their movement.
Yeah.
I find myself as well, just when I'm at games watching, just certain players are like focus on them for 5 or 10 minutes just to see what they're doing, and their movements, they just read the game so well.
They're always ready for like what's next. But what's happening now, it's like, what if that happens? Am I in a position to adapt to it? Yeah.
Definitely. Would you say you're the sort of player that when you're on the pitch, you're always thinking of what's next, what's going to come, or do you sort of take each moment in its stride?
Being like proactive, yeah. I think more like if the ball coming over the top or something, am I ready, like in a position if I need to drop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also quite like the foot race as well.
Do you reckon yourself to be a fast player even as a centre back?
Well, I don't know now with my knee. But yeah, I'm alright. Not as fast.
Who's the fastest player on the team?
Rihanna.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You'd put her up against anyone and she'll win every time.
I'd say so, yeah.
Who's the player in the gym that no one tries to compete with? Like if they're doing like weighted squats or like the leg push, like who's someone that's just absolutely smashing it?
Probably Tegan or Shauna.
Yeah?
Yeah. Shauna's got some thunder thighs.
Where do you put yourself in terms of strength?
Probably quite up there.
Yeah.
But I haven't been in the team for ages, so it's weird. And we haven't had the gym because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of home programs and sort of going to your own gyms and doing stuff. But
what was it like when you had to do that? How did yourself and your teammates adapt?
So my teammates, we all got given programs to different gyms, and everyone sort of had a gym near them. But I was still going in for rehab with my knee, so I was doing like 5 hours a day, every day of the week. And then I got let off and had Sundays off.
Yeah.
I was like, finally. But like, I'm going to do anything on a Sunday anyway.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like just a day that I had food or whatever. But yeah, I was doing a lot of gym and on a program that included like rehab and stuff.
Yeah. We're gonna play a little game of this or that. So as a defender, Would you rather keep a clean sheet and your team wins 1-0? Or would you rather concede 3 goals but your team wins 4-3?
Clean sheet, 1-0.
Clean sheet, so you go for the lower scoring?
Yeah. Win's a win, isn't it?
Fair enough. Would you rather make a 90 minutes clearance off the line to keep a draw, or score a last minute winner?
My job would be to defend it, but to win a game, so it would have to be to win a game.
So you take it to win a game?
Or a last minute winner, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather wear bright boots so everyone can see you when you turn up, or stay in a nice pair of blacked out boots and just work in silence and just show them what you got silently?
I'm guilty of having pink boots, so
pink boots.
Boots are bright pink.
I do love a bright boot, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I think it shows personality as well.
A loud player.
Yeah. I think you've got to have a bit about you though to be wearing bright boots.
Up in them. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like when I was younger, I used to play with all boys, and I remember I had like a pair of like burgundy red boots. They were wicked. And people used to say to me, they used to rock up to me. I was only young. I think I was like 10. And they'd say, oh, you're worth 2 players in those boots. And I'd look at them and I'd be like, oh, I better play good now. I better play well.
Got the standards set in it.
That's exactly it. Do you cut your socks?
Yeah.
So you wear bright boots and you cut your socks?
Yeah. Says it all.
Do you wear a headband when you play?
Sometimes. It's not like a every time thing, but sometimes, and it matches the boots. Okay,
I've got a lot of time for that. It's all about matchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just makes you feel better.
Yeah. Definitely.
When you're rocking up on a game day, are you wearing trainers or are you coming in sliders?
Sliders, do you know? But if I'm in my like presentation tracksuit, or like an away game, trainers.
Okay. So it depends on what the occasion is.
Yeah, it depends if I have my kit on already or not.
When you're in the changing room with your teammates, so obviously pre-COVID, who takes the longest to get ready? Who's always like sorting their hair out or making sure like they look presentable?
Rihanna, Tegan, they've always got their hair sorting out. A few of the girls will last minute run off to the toilet.
Yeah.
Or Amber Webber, goalkeeper, turning up late.
Who has any like match day superstitions? Like, have you got any like put your left sock on first or put your right boot on?
Right boot on first.
What? Why?
So I don't know why, but I did it one game and I noticed I did it. So because I did it, I carried it on. I wouldn't even say I had like a great game after doing it. It's just because I noticed it in my head. So now when I put my boots on, I'm like, oh yeah, I put my right boot on first. Like, I need to do it now.
So what happens if you accidentally put your left boot on first? Do you have to like reset, like put your boots on?
Yeah.
You're like, no, got to take them off. Got to redo it.
Literally. Doesn't happen much though.
Doesn't, no, because you've remembered it now. So it's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things that you're just like, you do it without even noticing. Love that. Right, so before I let you go, because I said I'd only keep you for 20 minutes and we've gone a little bit over, but we're having a good time, so it's fine. As a young player, what would you say are 3 goals you've set yourself for the next few years?
So right now, to get back from playing, from being proven to playing.
That's going to happen anyway. So that one doesn't count, because that's going to happen anyway.
All right. To get into the FA Youth Cup final next year.
Love that.
Captain next season.
Yeah.
And get back with the international squad after ages out.
Wicked. Love that. Liv, thank you so much for joining me and coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. before you go, please can you let everyone know where they can find you and where they can follow you?
Shall I put it in the thing, or?
Yeah, you can type it or you can just say it. That's quite clever putting it in the thing though.
What can I say?
No one's done that yet.
Do I have to add it, or can
I think you could just write a comment and then your name will obviously come up. Clever thinking from me.
You're just on the ball, aren't you?
I like that football one as well. And so what are your plans for the rest of the evening? You're heading over to Chelsea now, right?
Yep, going in, doing some rehab.
Enjoy your evening. And again, Liv, thank you so much for joining us, and speedy recovery. I look forward to coming and watching you play.
Defo. Thank you.
No worries. See you later.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.